This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mythras. Mythras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved. Button. What on earth was that?
That was a mouse.
Oh, I see. Right, we are live. I'm just making sure everybody's in the right positions, and it looks good. It looks good. Welcome back, everyone. We've had quite a bit of a break. I know I was poorly. I was poorly last week. I don't know if you saw the video, but I wasn't in a fit state to sort of like talk. Well, I could talk, but it would have been a bit of a strain on the voice. And I think the week before that we didn't. Was that right? Did we play the week before that? No,
like 2 or 3 weeks.
No, because Cap had work things. Yeah.
Spring break.
Work, guys. A lot of work stuff to do.
I noticed. I saw the videos that people posted. I was quite shocked.
Spring break.
I always thought it was just a film thing. That I didn't realise spring break was an actual real thing.
It's like Freshers Week, only bigger and better.
It's like Freshers Week.
Holidays.
Freshers Week in spring.
Yeah, and with
like Archie's Day in Wales.
Oh yes, Archie's Day at our university is when they drink the bar dry, and so the drinks get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper because they can't keep it over the summer or whatever. But they have one at winter as well.
Yeah, it started because the Archbishop of that city donated a keg of beer to the trainee teachers back in however many 1800.
No, so it should have just been
it's a tradition that's lasted since then.
It should have just been the teachers who had it then, and no one else. No one else at all. Anyway, so we're back, and unfortunately, or fortunately, we left the actual session in a very interesting situation, and we're actually in the middle of combat, and it's almost like the finale, the ultimate end, the time when total party kills can happen, when things can go dreadfully wrong, when players are suddenly trying to think of their new character that they might like better than this character, and we sort of like left it after the first combat round had finished. But before I give you a very, very quick synopsis of what's happening, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and their character who they will be playing tonight. And we start as ever with you, Mr. Pickles.
I am Mr. Pickles, and I play Bartley Fumus, which is our team's theist. I'm generally our healer, the person who gives some buffs. The sorcerer, of course, does that as well. Please stop me if my internet starts to go all wavy. It's been a little bit funny here. But Bartley Fumes, he's a helper.
Your voice went so funny there.
It's like a Miley Cyrus song.
Well, I've been...
Or Daft Punk. I'm thinking more Daft Punk.
Share, sorry, share, isn't it?
That was,
My internet's having emotional issues, so I might sound really cool today.
yeah, cool. Go for it.
But anyways, Bartley Fumus, he helps people. He's all about doing prayers and miracles that can improve people's chances of survival, especially putting arms back on. He brings all of his power through his goddess Amriel. To focus on good things, and she sometimes gives abstract visions. If you guys don't know, other prayers are all touch-based. I'm just seeing everybody freezing there. So I'll wrap this up just by saying Bartley does not have like any combat potential otherwise. He's done negative damage to somebody. And I'll pass you on to
Mr. Pickles, if
the robot.
we would much prefer to have your voice. So if it helps to kill your camera feed, just
Definitely more of
my
a
heart.
podcast face.
But you guys get a Kit Kat. Yeah, I'm passing it on to Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, okay.
and now everybody's just moved, which is strange.
All right, hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Today I'll be playing Bartley Fumus. Now you assume that Bartley, having no actual skills in battle and whatnot, wouldn't be useful, and honestly, you'd be correct. I like to play him a little bit more annoying than you would assume some human could be, but we're working on it. Unless he dies this round coming up, then we won't be working on it. It'll be it, and we move on to M space. But in all reality, I'm actually playing. So I'm playing Cyrus alias. Cyrus is the cool cat of the group. He's really
Where did you get that from?
Battle.
Sorry.
He's really good at being useful in combat. And has skills that people will find useful. He's a very hot-tempered major of the Order of the Phoenix, TM copyright pending. And from there, I'm going, because I think I was just spending too much time being funny, I'm going to pass it off to Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I am Longshanks EPG, and tonight, as always, I'm playing the stalwart character Hengist. He is a warrior from across the land who fights in heavy armor and a hand and a half sword. I was about to say two-handed sword, but maybe sometime in the future he'll upgrade to a two-handed claymore and start running around yelling "Free!" No, I'm joking. I hate that. He will be. He's a warrior of the noble house Galot in Lindo, which is one of the major houses. They tend to look after the little people. They supply a lot of arms and armor to the town guards, sort of like for free, and they look after the smiths and the inventors in the town, or at least they used to, under the previous Lord of House Galot, but now Lady Harmony's taken over, and she's sort of fallen in love with the guy who's given us this quest, who is a tavern owner who is very, very charismatic, and everybody loves him. And he's superbly paid by inwils there. And Hengist has found himself underground, fighting something with lots of tentacles, and he can't actually hit it with his sword, so he's starting to get a little bit worried. But he knows his awesome skills in combat will see him through, and I shall pass that on to
I'm really worried about all your states of mind at the moment.
I'm Medivac, and I play Hazra Khan. He is a nomad from the northern steppes of Odess. He is the group's tracker, forager, scout, secondary tank-ish type person. He wears soft armor. It's quilted armor, which is great for keeping away claws and tigers and things, but when it comes down to a good slash of a sword or a vampire, it doesn't work that well. He, at the start of this adventure, he had a very amazing spiritual moment, which he's been looking into and thinking about. But right now, he is in a city, which he's not happy with, but he does do it because he's not comfortable in cities, but he's there to help his friends out, to help his tavern owner friend, who he's forgotten his name. And how bad
Basil.
is that?
Basil the Earless.
Basil, who he sells his meats and treats to, meats to eat. And now, same with Hengist, he's down in a tunnel, but worse than Hengist, he's just chucked his spear through a very small brick-shaped hole at something that was coming out. So he's spearless. Yes.
You would have thought Hazard would have learnt about throwing his spears at objects or creatures that he can't get the spear back from, considering he once threw it at a mini dragon thing and then went, "Oh, my father's spear! Oh no!"
Hey, Hazra is spearless, but he's not fearless. Okay?
That's right.
As everybody looks at
Spearless, not
Bartley.
fearless. So with that, he's left with his scimitar, which he's very good at. And so with that, I shall pass this on to our rugged-looking Edward Norton lookalike,
Thank you.
inwils.
Let me just Google Edward Norton, because I have no idea who it is.
Compliment.
Compliment.
It's a compliment, for sure. Compliment, yeah.
Fantastic.
As long as it's not American History X, but yeah.
So,
Okay.
apologies if my eyes go funny, because they're still not blinking by themselves. And if I wink at you, please do not take it personally. It's just that my left eye tends to just stare into the open a lot of times. Okay, then. So, yeah. Oh, I was going to say something funny and I've forgotten it.
What, like, unless you're a 21-year-old spring breaker, then please take it personally.
Yeah, I was watching Rolfrit, who is playing Mass Effect, and I don't know what is Mass Effect like a computer game.
It's a huge
Yes.
game franchise. Yeah.
RPG game, I think, on the computer, right?
Yeah.
Right, so they're playing it.
You'd enjoy it, Inwils.
Say again, sorry.
First-person shooter.
Well,
I said you'd enjoy playing it at some point.
one of
Especially for like M space ideas.
exactly, I might have a go. One of the abilities one of the players have, I forget what it's called, but they can flip a coin and will either get a critical hit or a critical fail. And when it says a fail, that's a fail. So it's like not like a fail, it would be like a fumble in our game. You know, so it's literally, so they can fire their weapon, and if they got 1 out of 1 or 2, or 2 out of 2 or 2, one of them, it could be a critical hit, but the opposite one would be a critical fail. And I just thought, what a really interesting skill that is. You know, when would you use it? And when would you not use it? You know, I remember playing first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons when you had to sample poisons to actually get the feel of it. You know, there wasn't an identify spell there. And, you know, so you could sip it and just die of poison, and then that would be it. And talking of dying, let's have a look at what's actually happening in the adventure so far. So the long story and the short story of it was that Basil, owner of the Hairy Hobgoblin, was losing trade to a new bar across the way called the Sniffling Boar. And the party thought it was owned by Sniffler, who is the guildmaster of the Thieves Guild in Lindo. But it turned out that they weren't. It wasn't. It was owned by a guy called Kristoff. Kristoff is a very charismatic person. He knows what he wants and he knows how to get it. And really, to the surprise of the party, and the party are pretty well split down the middle about what Kristoff is like and whether or not he's nice or not nice. And it actually follows the way they are split up on the screen. So down that side are the haters of Kristoff, and down this side are the likers of Kristoff. Anyway,
Splitters.
Anyway,
We love Kristoff. We love Kristoff.
I expected you all to have banners at this point that you could sort of put up. So basically, the party has spent a considerable amount of time rebuilding Basil's trade, his clientele. And while doing this, they actually experience a dream state where they actually battled with Kristoff and quite surprisingly got butchered, murdered. Hasbro dived in. He's a keen fighter and got his leg, part of his leg, literally ripped out by Kristoff. There was Bartleby's goddess, Amriel, deserted him in his hour of need. Hengist tried desperately to fight and hit and do damage, but failed. And even Cyrus, with all his mighty magic and small stature, couldn't really dint Kristoff. And the party are still wondering whether or not this was an experience that really reflects the power of Kristoff. However, they found out through legwork that the town of Lindor was being controlled by a beast, a monster, an entity called a Dream Stalker. And this Dream Stalker saps emotional energy from everybody around them by ensuring that they have deadly, scary dreams. And they also know that it's a creature, it's an entity that is often summoned for nastiness, for revenge, etc., etc. Anyway, the party went to see Kristoff and wanted to know something. I forget what they wanted to know. Oh, yes, his library. And they suddenly found out that he has 2 libraries. He has the library in his room, but there's also the reason he bought the Sniffling Boar was because of the underground library that he was aware of. The party naturally went down to see what was happening, and they found the guard impaled on a tentacle that had been pushed out of a small gap. It was attached to the poor lad's head, and the party manages to separate it. But as doing so, Hengist got caught by another tentacle that whacked onto his arm or his chest or whatever it was. And the party are in a bit of a pickle now. There's a small gap that this beast seems to be attacking the party through with these rubbery tentacles, but the gap is not big enough at the moment to actually get through. The party are sort of like congregating down in the beginning of the end of the sewer here, and we had finished combat round 1. Initiative has been rolled, and we're about to go back up to the top of the turn, top of the round to have round 2. The player characters have all their luck back, and if you would like to contribute to any of their luck or give them any successes, etc., you will find a panel down below that you can actually use either money or bits to grant them advantages or positive rolls, guaranteed successes, or luck rolls. Just so you know, the party cannot see everything. Okay, so this is all that the party sees. So the players don't see everything that you see on the board and I see. They only see what their light is providing for them. So quite literally, if they get out of the way, they will be in the dark and it will be super scary. Can you guys still see the turn order if I put it over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move it around where we want.
Oh, brilliant. That's all right then.
That's good. Yeah.
Cool. Okay then. And yeah, that is where we left it. So the plan tonight could be Mythras's battles have a habit of going on for some time because it's quite involved, and I love it because the narrative is fantastic. We could just play the battle all night. It could, in the next couple of minutes, everybody could be killed straight off, which means it'll be a short night. We'll do the battle. We'll then do some experience rolls if we've got time, and then we'll call it after that whether or not we want to start making up M-space characters or call it a night and then start next week. So just to let viewers aware, what we're going to do is that we're going to alternate through fantasy adventure and then one adventure comes to an end, we're going to switch to sci-fi and play another adventure, and then switch backwards and sort of like alternate that backwards and forwards. Okay then, players, before we start, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? Remember, just like all your I think you've got damage resist up, haven't you, and magical protection, is that right, from Cyrus?
So Hengist will have, by the looks of it, Hengist has got might
Oh,
He's got a damage resist and he's got piercing, is it?
No, it's
Blade sharp, one of the two.
it's armor penetration.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's the one.
7 points armor penetration and 7 points damage resist.
yeah.
That's right.
And then, at the end of last round, Bartley cast Might on Hengist. So, because I think when you cast Might, the power,
Strength, isn't it?
the power is added to your strength. I think, is that right, Mr. Pickles?
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
it's only for like brawn rolls and whatnot. Which,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good if you're trying to pull your blade out of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Strength
or if you're
tests,
pushed down a wall and things like that.
Okay. So your luck rolls are refreshed. You'll be pleased to know. So that's a good start. However, magic points are not refreshed because it's continuous, and any wounds, etc., that you've got will also be kept for the rest of the adventure. Now, Hengist, tell me, what am I holding on to you with at the moment?
Love.
A tentacle?
A tentacle, and whereabouts is it attached?
I don't remember.
I had a feeling it was on your chest. That's what I had.
It was upper body somewhere, but
Yeah.
I don't remember where. To be
Okay, then.
honest.
So that's fine. So will anybody got any questions that they want to ask before we go?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, well, we'll say it's attached to your chest, just for ease.
No questions from me.
Oh, it's like a talking cat there now. Are you having problems with your camera, Longshanks?
Yeah.
My internet just seems a little bit funny right now.
You're sounding fine, Mr. Pickles, now.
You do
so-
sound really good, yeah.
Yeah, you're
cool.
fine. Yeah, the latest Windows update has decided it wants my webcam to update. I don't want to update my webcam, so it means it loses its focus all the time.
It's all right.
So frustrating. Oh!
I can't see anything over there because my eyesight. I can just sort of like see. I actually thought this is not offensive, Captain. I actually thought you had a cat on your shoulder, and then I suddenly realised it was your hair.
What
got
we
two
say
cats.
is we're all chuffing jealous
But the
of
thing
your
is, I do
mane.
sometimes have a cat on my shoulder.
Well, that's
so
what I
it's
thought.
True.
Yeah.
Did you have a dog the other week?
You had a dog the other week.
Yeah.
He just goes outside and grabs a random animal. He'll have a
Yeah.
moose or something
Yeah,
next.
these aren't my animals. I leave the door open, they walk in. So they don't-
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the rabbit to arrive again. that you
No,
can
the
tell
cat
us about.
killed the rabbit.
Okay, then let's.
Actually, I do have one
Moving
question. Does
swiftly on.
anyone remember if I cast Fireblade on my blade last time? I don't remember.
I think you
Oh, you had it on.
did because
You had it on in any
we had
case
it on-
for light.
Yes.
Oh,
for
that's
life,
right,
you
that's
did,
right,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then. So we're coming to the top of combat round 2. So everybody will have all your actions back, and we'll go through it. And the Dream Stalker starts on 21. He or it goes first, and the first thing it's going to do, Hengist, is that you feel the tentacle being retracted. Okay, and it's actually seems to it's not unsticking. It's literally trying to pull you through the small opening of the wall. Okay, now what we're going to do here is that we're going to make an opposed brawn roll. So remember, if it's all to do with what's the highest from the brawn roll, and then what's going to happen is as follows: if the Dream Stalker wins, okay, then you get bashed up against the wall, okay, and nothing else happens. However, if you win as it pulls towards you, you manage to get some kind of leverage on it and brace yourself, and it actually pulls away from you, but you manage to unstick it. It seems to be stuck with some kind of adhesive. It hasn't got little teeth that are biting into you. So all Hengist needs to do, there's no action required for this. It's all sort of like basically is that you need to roll your brawn roll for me.
Don't forget you get that bonus on there as well.
It's already on there. Mate.
Oh,
Yes. Now, so that is interesting because we both got ours. I got a 28 standard, but you got a 92 standard with a fantastic brawn roll of 98 with that added strength added onto it. So what happens is that you sort of like bash up against the wall, and it sort of like pulls it, and you feel it coming towards you at that part. And then all of a sudden you see what's happening. You quickly manage to brace your legs or your arm, and there's a huge yank from it, and the tentacle pulls away, and it seems to have taken somewhat the top of your armor off.
Taken the enameling off.
Yeah, and it's not decreasing any of your hit points on that armor location or anything like that at the moment, but you do notice that it's some kind of adhesive, maybe acidic, and that's coming out of its actual tentacle. Okay, and this sort of like, you sort of like brace it, and you hear it sort of like go back into the darkness, and we come to Hazra. You're up.
I was trying to go back through the chat at the side to see how many turns was since I threw my spear, and I'm working out it was about 3, 2.
Well, it'd be 3 turns, yeah, because we're...
Yeah, so Hazra would have drawn his scimitar, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you had drawn your scimitar.
I had, right, thank you. I was going to go back and watch the video and just quickly...
You actually drew it and moved at the same time.
Right, brilliant stuff. In which case, map. Seeing Hengist now being pushed towards the wall, Hazra, can he get through to the side of the hole? Or not? Can he get?
No.
Can he get to Hengist to sort of like put your hand on him and pull him back? Or?
Hengist is sort of like in the gap at the moment.
That's right, because this corridor is about as wide as Hengist, isn't it?
Yeah, is quite... Hengist is quite beefy in any case, so...
In which case, Hazra will grab onto his breastplate at the back, just below that, just to like sort of stop him from being pulled through this hole, because that's all he can see at the moment is being pulled towards this hole. Yeah,
and you sort of like grab onto him, and you feel him tug, and you sort of like got one hand there because your scimitar's in the other hand, and you sort of like grab him on the collar part of it, and you feel him being pulled, but then you see that he somehow braces himself, and there's sort of like that, and you suddenly feel him go limp, and he seems, and so you can actually see this tentacle flipping its way back
into the hole.
Yeah. And
so at that point, well, Hazra he'll just go into a defensive stance, because there's nothing he can do at the moment, and just wait in that case then.
Excellent. And we move on to Cyrus. Muted.
All right, sorry.
There you go.
Back to the other table. All right, so I'm thinking ahead because I can't really get into that little area, and even if I could, like, Hengist is still in the way. So I'm going to cast Vigor on myself. So I'm thinking ahead because I know by combat round 3 we're going to have to do a roll for how tired we're getting. I think Bartley does it on 2. Yeah, so I'm going to think ahead and cast out myself now, so that way I don't have to worry about the fatigue.
Yeah. Okay then. So folk magic spell then. So roll your folk magic skill.
I'm going to use my first luck of the and switch the 75 to 57.
Nice. And yeah, so you cast vigor on yourself. So basically, you won't get fatigued now until the end of this scene, which will be the end of the combat round. Hengist, you're up.
So Hengist is right next to this wall with the hole in.
Yeah, there's a bit of a space now because you've almost like braced yourself, so there's a bit of a gap.
I'm holding back.
Hengist is gonna take a he's gonna wait and see what happens. I can't remember what it's called. Delaying action, the defensive one.
Yeah, so you're going to delay and just make me a perception roll, just for a quick observation in combat.
I hope you eat your words, Captain.
What did he say?
He said, "Uh-oh."
You've sort of like gone quite close to this wall and then backed off, and you do notice something that is quite peculiar in the sense that the brickwork is not actually flush. You notice that it's bulging, and the center point of the bulge, so it's almost like curved round, as if something's been trying to bash it from the inside. And it's sort of like at the peak of the bulge is where the few bricks or blocks of stone and mortar have actually fallen down onto the ground near you, and that's where the tentacles have come through. So yeah, so do you just want to delay?
Yep, Hengist is delaying.
Cool. Okay then, so we move on to Mr. Bartleby.
I'd like to reach down and put my hand on Cyrus's shoulder and pray. You may be small and weak, but my goddess will make you big and strong.
Ooh.
And I want to bring about this little revenge for that intro you did for me.
Yeah. So you will have power. What's your power, Bartleby?
14.
14. So it'll go on to your strength for any rolls that you have. So it's easy just to add it as a temporary thing up at your strength. I think there's a box for that, and then you can reduce it if we need to. Yeah, so you feel the power of Amriel surging through your bones and muscles, and all of a sudden they almost... What was your strength before? This is...
So my strength is 10.
Oh, yeah.
So it goes to 14.
So now you're just sort of like...
You can hold your flaming glaive up and say, I have the power!
So essentially, I'm vigorous and now I'm stronger. Did I just inject myself with something?
Yeah, exactly. With the power, the power of magic.
If you look carefully, you can actually see a little bluey white glow underneath your skin where your muscles are, and that's the power of Amriel strengthening your muscles.
I probably look like a child at a trampoline park right now.
Exactly, you got a rather extreme sugar rush. Yeah, you do look like a child, only be about 5
We
foot
thought
2.
you sneezed, but you really got shut up.
Hazra, you've seen naughty children in your tribe before. You just sort of like look down at Cyrus and think, oh, good grief. He's all like, he keeps looking up to you, Hazra, and saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
More ice cream! More ice cream!
So your strength is now, what, 24?
Oh, it adds on to it? I thought I'm going to 14.
Amriel gives.
No, it adds the caster power.
Yeah, it adds on to.
I'm going to spank this tentacle monster up the rear end.
Yeah, actually, if somebody picks Cyrus up, you probably will be able to shove him through the hole. Stood up.
glaive wouldn't fit though.
Right now, it's kind of like Scrappy Doo.
That's right. Put him up.
So for people,
Leave me alone.
Cyrus is very short. I'm just putting it in the chat just in case people are not aware. Okay then. So Bartley, you've infused the power of Amriel to many of the party, and we go back up to the top of the round.
And suddenly I question why you did this one.
We go up to the top of the round for turn 2, and the Dream Stalker goes first. And what I would like you all to make for me, please, is a willpower check.
This is where everyone, apart from Bartleby, cracks their pants.
No, Bartleby's failed on his willpower.
Yeah, I'm going to need to use a luck point to reroll there if I can.
Bartleby's got the highest willpower skill out of all of us.
No, Cyrus has.
Oh, no, Cyrus does, yeah, sorry.
Okay, then.
Only just, though.
I'm going to look mine. I can't reverse it because it's 4 points out.
Yeah, so hang on. Let's do this one at a time. Let me go from the bottom upwards. Hengist, what are you doing? Are you leaving it?
Hengist is staying with it.
Okay, then. So yours will be a fail. Hazra, what are you going to do with yours?
I'm going to look mine because Hazra's been working on his willpower and it's very... he's quite metal-headed, so he's going to re-roll it.
Okay. Re-roll Hazra.
No, still not gonna...
Okay then. So that's 2 fails. Cyrus, you got a 66 after 58.
I don't want to use all my luck thus far because I think I'm gonna need it as we get further on. So I'm going to let it be. Hopefully I don't regret it.
I wanted to. I was joking at the beginning of the adventure when I was talking about a total party kill, but
I was just about to say that. We're heading towards the total party kill.
Here it comes. So the only person who actually remains Bartleby. Everybody else has failed theirs. You failed them, but you do have an opportunity to re-roll if you wish.
Oh yeah, I want to reroll with a little luck point there because Amriel saves.
Oh!
and you have 20 luck points.
Yeah.
All down to Amriel now.
Okay.
I mean Bartleby, sorry.
So what happens? You all feel this wave of emotion that spreads through the wall. It seems to have, it doesn't count the wall as any barrier at all, and it flows through it, and you all get this feeling of dread and fear and not wanting to be anywhere near what happens. And what you do is that you all start to back away, and you will, on this turn, so this is technically your action on this turn, you will move half your walking because you're going backwards, okay, half your walking speed down the corridor. Okay, so away from the opening. So imagine that you're seeing in your brain, in your mind's eye, horrific scenes or this feeling of dread that is causing you to back away, as if you're sort of like thinking, no, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And so Cyrus probably goes in the goo. He can go in the goo here.
Oh no.
And the only person, this sense of emotion and this sense of dread, Bartleby, passes over you. But as it passes over you, you almost like hear Amriel's voice whispering to you across the gulf of the afterlife, and sort of like you hear her voice, or what you assume is her voice, saying, almost like giving you encouragement, and sort of like, stay strong, my disciple, stay strong. And although you falter for a moment to take a step backwards, the luck of Amriel comes into you, and you notice everybody else is backing away. And I can imagine that some of you might be saying, "Leave it, Bartleby, leave it," as you're sort of like coming back and Bartleby's looking around. So Hazra, Cyrus and Hengist, you do half your movement round. So that is actually an action point that will take you. And that's your action for that round, that turn, sorry. But Bartleby, we come to you on 11.
So I think I want to try something a little weird with my prayers.
Ooh.
I'm not certain that this will actually have any effect, but I think
need
this
the
is what
rule
Bartley would
book?
do.
Do I need the rule book? Is it one of those?
No, I can post the details right here. What I think I want to do is have Bartley use his voice prayer to try and inspire his allies. Perhaps to not be fearful, or at least to force them to listen to him.
Okay. Is it folk magic or
folk magic? Yeah,
folk magic. Okay then. Go for it. Roll your.
Okay. This is a gamble in more than one way.
Yeah. And what sort of things would you be saying?
Bartleby would try and channel Amriel's voice into his own words. It might be a little impossible because I imagine Amriel gives a lot of feelings and stuff rather than direct paragraphs. But he's going to try and articulate that courage and encouragement, and to say, "We cannot give up now, my friends," or something shorter if I have limited.
Okay then. So what I'm going to allow Hazra and Hengist and Cyrus to do, I'm going to allow you to roll your willpower again. However, due to the rousing nature of the voice spell, I am going to reduce the difficulty of your roll from standard to easy. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, just to let you know, this is a new roll, so you can use luck on it if you wish. Okay? It's completely up to you.
Amriel! Except for Hengist.
Hengist will use his luck roll.
Hengist, what is your walk in meters?
It's 6 normally.
So you want to be in front of me about here?
Why?
Because his is longer, so you won't have got as far back as him. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you using your
I have
luck
my
point?
turn order to hide him.
Are you using your luck point? Did you say?
Yes. Hengist listens to Amriel.
Cool.
Amriel for all!
Hasn't anybody noticed this? Hengist has been saved by Amriel many times.
Yeah.
Hengist has a little slither of Amriel in his heart.
And so you sort of like back away, and then worried and fearing the content of the small room beyond, or the large room, or whatever it is, and you sort of like back away. But as you back away, you hear the rousing voice of Bartleby as he channels the power, the divine power of Amriel, and almost like motivates you and puts your mind at ease, and you sort of like suddenly stop in your tracks and suddenly shake your head, and you naturally feel that you've been under something. But Bartleby, Cyrus, has actually, through making no damage at all, has saved you all. I just want to put that
Again.
yeah. Okay, and so we're going to combat turn 3. For anybody who has a action point left, and the Dream Stalker goes first, and you hear a pounding on the wall. It seems that the Dream Stalker has almost like projected its tentacle and bashed it. Again, Hengist, you figured this is what it was actually trying to do earlier, and that's why the wall is concave from the inside, and you hear it splat up against the brick wall. And let's see what he does. Yeah, and he whacks up against it, and you notice that a brick, and it just seems to be a random brick. It doesn't seem to be anything near the hole or whatever. They're sort of like bang, 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 and all of a sudden another brick falls out, making another little hole somewhere. Cyrus, what's your war skill?
Yeah, it is. My war skill should be 50.
What's the title of the skill?
War Council.
Okay. I didn't know whether or not it was anything to do with siege weapons or anything like that. Yeah, and so that happens on 21. And Hazra, you got an action left, yeah?
I do indeed, yes. Hazra, seeing this thing, or see the wall bulge slightly, will kind of push himself after he's just been so morally distraught and backed away from the wall. He's going to push himself closer into the wall here with his scimitar ready, and he's going to try to whisper to Cyrus, you see, "Can you not burn the wall?"
Burn the wall!
Burn it down.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And so that's like a free action to say that, so that's fine. And so we move on to Cyrus on 15.
All right. So
now's the time for the fireball spell.
Yeah, this time I'll start augmenting and getting it ready because it takes 2 turns to do it.
What spell are you doing?
I'm doing rack.
Rack. Okay then. So let's just. So it'd be 1 turn normally. Are you? I assume that you're adjusting the range of it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So if you put 1 point in it, it would be 1 meter per power point that you have.
So 14 meters.
Yeah. Or you can put 2 shaping points in it, and in which case it would be 5 times your power.
What do you guys think? You think it's way too far for 15? I think for 14 meters.
It's only 8 meters away from you. Is the wall, and that's all you can really see, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all I can see. So I don't know how far his tentacle reach is. So I don't know how far back. Or her, shouldn't assume the tentacle monster is a he.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'll probably do that advice and put 2 power points, so that way it's 5 times.
Okay then.
The distance.
So we know that it's going to be. You're going to change the range, so that will be 2 points of shaping. I think you have 7 shaping points. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay then. So the next one is what magnitude? How many targets? I assume is going to be 1.
Yeah. 1.
So that costs no shaping point. The next one is the magnitude of it. Okay, so that's almost like what you use to counter magic things.
All the magnitudes.
It might have an anti-magic ability, like a counter spell ability, but take a whole new turn as well to get to that point.
Yeah, so
like, say 7.
So you will. It only takes another turn to cast it. So if you're using, do you want it up to magnitude 7?
Yeah, I'd probably use the rest of my shaping points to bring up the magnitude.
Okay, cool. So you're using 1 shaping point on the range,
distance.
And then your 6 remainder one will actually take it up to a 7 magnitude. Okay, is that happy? Yeah?
Yep, that's happy.
Okay then, so that's going to be 1 for the spell, 1 for range, 1 for magnitude. So it's going to cast you 3 turns to actually cast it, and then we'll look at. So you'll have 1 for your magic point cost, because I don't know what your magic points are. It'll be 1 for the spell, 1 because you changed your magnitude, and 1 because you changed the range. So when you cast it, it'll be 3 magic points coming off as well. Unless, of course, you do a critical success, and then it'd be only 1.
I'll wait till we roll.
Yeah, roll it once you've done your 3 turns. So this would be the first turn. Hengist.
Hengist, feeling very embarrassed about his momentary lapse in warrior spirit, is commencing a charge at the wall.
Okay, brilliant. So is your desire to try to bash in it to bring it down?
Yeah, so he's basically going to run at it, and then at the last second he's going to drop with his sword in hand. The last second he's going to drop his shoulder down. He's shoulder barging the wall. Okay
then. So you sort of like set off and you bash into the wall at full speed. Well, not exactly full speed because you don't have that much of a run up, but you are going quite quickly. So I would like you to make a brawn roll for me. This is a hard brawn roll.
It's good you're blessed. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's the second time. Was that the second time you scored 97 on a brawn roll?
That is so ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it said 97.
Yeah.
So you, so it's a hard roll. So you got 97 out of 66.
It's a hard wall.
It's a hard wall. Hengist just bounces backwards slightly.
Well, what you do sort of like move the bricks a bit, and you do feel that this wall is not 100% sturdy at all. Okay then.
Well, I suppose if it's bulging out, you're going against the force of bulging in, aren't you?
Correct.
I pushed it back to where it was.
That's right.
Yeah, he's trying to seal it as it comes through.
It's hard not
life for us. And Bartley, you need to roll your endurance, I think.
Yeah, I don't have any actions, but I'm glad you gave me something to do. 10.
Yeah. Oh, you're
with style.
Yeah. You are fully imbued and full up with the glorious power of Amriel. There's no stopping you now at all. So let's move on to combat round 3. And we're going to go back up to the turn order. So we're back up with the Dream Stalker. Hengist, make a perception roll for me, please. Okay, as you sort of like bash into this wall and sort of like take a step back, you hear something through the gap in the wall. And just to let you know, there's no light in here at all. But what you can see, almost like if I ping the map, can you, even though it's in darkness, can you see me pinging that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the ping, sorry.
Yeah. So what it looks like, because there's light coming in behind you, it looks like the edge of maybe a wooden shelf. It's too high for just a table. But what you hear is what appears to be items tumbling to the ground, and then this feeling that it's getting trodden on and broken. But it tends to be more like a sort of bash and then sort of like, if that makes sense, as something heavy is almost like rolling over it and actually suppressing it or breaking it. And at the end of its round, you actually do see something in the actual bit beyond. Okay, let me just move that and then go back to this. Let's see how far you can see now. It's still quite dark because you haven't got the torch, but you can see there seems to be some kind of large amoebus jelly-like thing coming towards you. It seems to be knocking things out of its way. Its progression seems very slug-like. But what you do notice is that every now and again there's a whip of a tentacle. They seem to be part of the entity. It seems as if it can pull them, reach them out, and then pull them back again. It doesn't look like its arms, okay, or like an octopus. It actually looks like when it fires one of these tentacles out, it's actually its body extending, and it doesn't seem to be getting closer to you, but it is getting closer. It's about this far away from you, where I'm pinging. You don't have a lot of light, but you can definitely see it now.
Closer to my blade.
Something I realize, our new employer is not going to like me because I'm pretty sure I'm going to burn up the entire library trying to get to.
Hazra, you're up.
Hazra, he's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. He's going to move forward again after that little bit of uncertainty.
Trapped.
He's going back.
Trapped
again. Yes,
Why
trapped
did
like
we
a
delay?
fly in a bottle. He's going to back up Hengist again because he knows that Hengist will need his support in this after he ran away.
Yes.
So did Hazra.
Yeah, did you see that?
Okay, so Hazra moves up in a supportive position. Cyrus, you'll be turn 2 of your spell casting. Hengist.
Hengist wants to give... Sorry, joking on crisps. Hengist wants to give the wall another shove.
Okay, so now it actually be formidable because you have no run-up for it. Okay, so just...
All in all, it's just
Never
Hengist in the wall.
So yeah, formidable. Oh no,
Getting there.
Yeah, and you bash into it again, and there seems to be a little bit of a give, but that's all. And Bartley.
Would I be able to reach Hazra, or is he moving too swiftly by me that I?
Well, he's stopped there. He's not moving past you, so you can spell cast on him. He's quite used to Bartley touching him.
Yes.
Yeah. It's partially for my own balance, but
Other priests as well.
Yeah.
I want to lean over and
Careful,
pray that
careful.
Hazra's scimitar will be able to cut through anything that stands against us.
I thought that might be it. Oh, and Amriel is completely with you. I think you should play without your webcam more often. Your rolls today has been absolutely
has the power.
Unbelievable. Yes, so
Thank you, Bartleby.
you actually don't lose any magic points because it's a critical roll there. So what's normally your weapon damage? Hazra, with your scimitar?
My scimitar is normally 1d8, which now be 1d10, is it?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's 1d10 now. Eat my scimitar.
My skimiwar.
Okay,
So, yes.
and then we're up to the top of the round again. So this is turn 2, and this is when this noise from within, Hazra, you start to hear it now, and even Bartleby, you can hear it. And what you see is some kind of amorphous entity. As it gets to the smaller part of the tunnel is too small for it, but what it does is almost like shrink and get longer. It fills the tunnel, and it's almost like all its bits that it can't fit in it almost like reappropriates them to different parts of its body. And Hengist, you see it. You can't see any eyes on it. You can't see, it just seems to be like a huge massive jelly. And at the end of its round, and at 21, it is flush against the wall. And you notice, Hengist, that this wall does not look like it's going to. You can see it bulging. Hazra and Bartley, you can see this as well. It seems to, for all of you, it seems that this creature means to just put a whole load of pressure onto this wall to get at you. It's obviously upped its ante. Okay, and that's where it leaves it itself. And we come to you, Hazra.
Sorry. Well, me and Steve McQueen are going. No, that's a reference to Deep Cut, the Blob. No. Okay. There's nothing I can do because Hengist is in front of me. So I'm literally going to try to.
You can back off if you wish.
Yeah, well, that was my other thing, was moving away to give Hengist more space to move, and if he does need to move away. So I'm going to move parallel to Bartleby, leaving enough gap for Hengist to back off if he needs to.
Brilliant. And Cyrus, this comes to turn 3, which means your spell is ready to cast. So you need to roll your invocation spell. And if you're successful, you'll lose 3 magic points.
Okay, here it comes.
Yeah, you cast it. So your tentacles are all fire, aren't they? I see.
Yeah.
What was the?
I'm gonna wrap up this.
Your voice had changed dramatically there. I thought we had an imposter in the Zoom chat. So you fire your tentacles out at the Dream Stalker.
I'm gonna wrap my tentacles around your tentacles, baby.
Yeah. So you need to roll a 1d20 to start off with about where it hits. I do have a hit location for it. 14. Yeah, you just hit a random part of it. There is I won't say that. Okay, so you hit a random part of it, so I need some damage.
I think it's I don't have the book in front of me. I think it's 1d8.
I've got my book. Let me just check. Do you not have it linked in on your character?
Does your intensity give more damage as well?
No.
No. Oh, sorry.
It just prevents it from being.
Yes, sorry.
It's your intensity. What is your intensity? Is it 7?
Yeah, my intensity is 7.
It's 1d8 then. Your intensity increases the damage it does. I actually have an evade, but I'm going to say that the monster can't do it because it's nothing it can evade to. Just to remind you, this is a concentration spell.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
That one I would agree.
Yeah, so nice! 1d8. Was it? It was his 14, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you sort of like strike it out, and there seems to be a lot of hissing and almost like this beast seems to be very wet, and you can see bits of skin and moisture evaporating as you come out. It seems that rather than wrapping round something and constricting it, it almost like looks as if you are firing a lance of fire out that is sort of like going into it and bashing it. And you notice some of the skin flexes in and sizzles. And when you pull it back ready for your next attack, you definitely see a burnt bit. Right, because it's right up against the hole in the wall, and that's the bit that you fire to, and it sort of goes psss, and then you pull it back, and there's definitely a blackened part of this beast. So it looks like fire does cause it damage. That was in the 14, wasn't it?
Yeah. Am I lighting it up at all with the fire?
No, it's not. It's too damp and gloopy.
No, like the area. Am I enlightening the area?
Yeah, I mean it's flat up against a hole in the wall now.
Got it.
So you've got light in, and everybody sees it. Bartley stood there and sort of goes like this is this flame, and Hengist, you sort of like move to one side as it circles around you and hits the beast. And yeah, Hengist, we're with you.
Hengist is going to take a few steps back, so that because he can see the wall starting to bulge and this thing coming down, so he's expecting the bricks to kind of like burst outwards. So he's taking a few steps back to give himself some fighting room when this beast comes at him.
Okay. Anything else you would like to do?
Oh, so he's moving. That's
okay. Brilliant. And Bartley, what would you like to do?
Yeah, seeing the fire and everybody moving, Bartley's gonna take that cue to. I think since he loves monsters, the idea of them, he probably get a step back and get a better vantage point, so he can give a wide-eyed stare. Probably like about here, so he's not directly in front of Cyrus, not blocking, but
yeah,
sort of center.
Cool. And that brings us to the end of the turn 2 of combat round 3. So we're going back to. I'm smiling because you'll find out in a second. Into combat turn, still round 3, but this is turn 2. And this takes the whole of the Dream Stalker's power and the whole of its turn. It can't do anything else. But what happens is that you, just as Hengist is expecting, you see the brick wall start to push around, and then the beast almost like sucks in and goes, and then it goes like that and almost like blows out. And the reason I was laughing is because Bartley has changed his success roll from where he needed to be just by moving back those few steps.
As I do.
Which is interesting. Hazra's, yours is different, and yours is different as well, Cyrus, because of your distance. You're actually shielded by Hengist, Hazra. So
as always.
Yeah, so you're
Hengist doing his job for us.
My tank.
Yeah.
Me shield.
Okay then. So
only I brought my shield.
I'm going to give you, every single one of you has a choice at this point. Just to let you know, Hengist, your role will be to succeed with this will actually be a hard roll. Okay? Hazra and Bartley, your rolls will be easy for this roll. And Cyrus, yours would be very easy. But if you make the roll, Cyrus, you will lose concentration on your spell. Okay? So what I'm going to give you all is an opportunity, if you wish to take it, of evading the random bricks that fly out. Some of them will just fall down to the ground. The odd 1, 2, or 4 will actually fire out. There is going to be a to-hit roll. Okay, so you don't need to actually make the decision until that point. So what you have is this. The bricks, there'll be 1 brick for each of you to hit. There won't be multiples. I'll roll to see whether or not it hits. If I miss, then that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong. If I hit, then you do have a choice. It'll cost you an action point to evade the roll. Okay? And what this means is just like a normal evade, you will see the brick coming to you, you'll dive out the way, you will be prone, but the brick will not hit you if you're successful. If the to hit roll actually does hit and you choose not to evade, then it will hit you somewhere on your body and do some damage to you. Okay, you do have some armor that is up and ready. Cyrus, just to let you know, whenever you take damage, you need to do a willpower check to make sure you can still concentrate on your spell. So as long as you make it, it doesn't cost you an action or anything like that. But as long as you make it, then your spell is still concentrated, and then that's it. So yeah, if you need any clarification of that as we go through, then let me know. So Hengist, I'm going to come to you first. Okay, so I will make my to hit roll, and just to let you know, for you to avoid it is hard. for me to hit you is going to be easy, okay, because you're so close to the actual wall. Yeah, but out of
This would have stood there anyway.
out of
taken it.
some bricks sort of like hit you, but nothing comes straight at you. Other bricks sort of like fall to the ground as it sort of like popped out, and you're still there. You'll still have an action. Hazra, this one is coming to you. My role now is the standard rather than easy because we're coming out. Brick misses you as well. Bartley, you don't have any actions left for this round, so hope for a miss.
I have some luck points I could sacrifice, but
okay,
that'd be a little bit silly because my Bartleby's not an evader. So
the brick flies out, and you can't evade it, so you sort of like look around, and you're probably just seeing what Cyrus is doing, and all of a sudden you hear the like this.
Could Hazra see this brick coming towards me? Use your luck point to maybe try to jump in front?
I don't.
Or not. No, I'm not sure if I can or not, but
I don't think that is one of the options of a luck point. I think what you're thinking about, there's a reactive thing that's called intercept, which you need to have delayed your action.
Wait.
Wait.
Could I use a luck point to make you re-roll or reverse?
Yes, you can get me to re-roll it. Let me just check to see whether or not I can actually skill points magic.
I mean, I'm fine with taking a brick to the face, I guess, but it's,
I mean, you've already got mangled hands, Bartley. You need to look after what you got, mate.
Yes.
I've heard the whispers. People say I have a mangled face too, and that's fine.
Hey, no,
Mr. Pickles, I don't know if you can
nice
afford.
face.
Oh, Bartley, yeah, it's Mr. Pickles we have to worry about.
We
already took it. We already took away your camera privileges.
cameras moved for public safety.
That's mean, Medivac. That's mean.
Right.
I haven't been crying this whole time. Don't worry, guys.
It's all right, It's all right, Mr. Pickles. I'll pick on the other two for you later. I'll even the score for you.
That's fighting talk. That is.
Fighting talk where I come from.
Using luck point, only one luck point can go. You can either cheat fate, desperate effort, that is to characters can reroll any dice or make them swap number. Characters can even force an opponent to re-roll an attack or damage against them. So you can't swap my numbers around, but you can make me re-roll it if you wish.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll cheat fate then. I'll spend a luck point.
Okay then.
You're gonna get a 1. Critical brick.
Please be true.
No, don't be
Don't
true.
do that to yourself. Don't do that to
Brick.
yourself.
Get 100. Get 100.
Okay then. So I am rolling that attack again.
Yeah, 100.
Oh no.
Mother lover.
I'll get a casual break then.
You get a casual break as it comes towards you, and it's going to hit you in your
Head.
one.
Head. Oh.
Look
My
at the
right
positive
leg.
side, Mr. Pickles. It's one step away from building a house.
Oh wait, it hits you for 6.
Or your own Church of Amriel.
Ouch!
It hits you for 6 points of damage on your leg.
But I have 7 points of protection.
So so it sort of like bounces off the protection, and
Praise Amriel.
was it Amriel?
Praise Cyrus.
No,
Praise
it wasn't.
Fireman.
It wasn't. But praise Amriel.
You stood there, who throws a brick?
Yeah, so you sort of like this comes towards you and you manage to avoid it, and it hits, but the damage of the of the protection spell absorbs it, so you're absolutely not phased by it at all. And Cyrus, you're the last one, so here comes my unarmed against you. That does hit you.
Question though. Yeah, no matter what, even if it was hard, it would hit me. So I also wonder, because of Hengist being in the way, that it would be hard or.
Yeah, it is a hard roll. Yeah.
Yeah. If it just hits me, I'm just gonna roll a willpower save then.
Yeah. Let me.
To maintain my concentration.
Yeah. I'm just checking that I got that rule right. Yeah. So yeah, you just need to roll your willpower. As long as you succeed that, without then you.
I'm going to use my luck to re-roll that.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Okay then. So you are you evading it or just taking it?
I'll just take it.
Okay then. So it bashes into you. It's going to bash into your. This is quite a clever brick, by the way. So if it hit you, Hengist, it would have done D8. Hazra and Bartley, it's doing D6, and you, Cyrus, it's doing a D4 when it hits you. It hits you in your 2, which is one of your legs.
That's a home and leg brick.
Yeah,
It's a right leg brick.
and it does 4 points of damage, but that's probably shielded by your.
Yeah.
I think so. And if you think about it, it's going to hit your legs because of the parabolical arc of them as they come down.
No, they're just home and leg bricks.
Yeah, so your spell will have to be recast, and that brings us to the end of. Hazra, do you have any actions left?
I do, but I've no idea.
Because you didn't dodge it, so you.
No, it missed me, so I didn't do anything. But what I probably will do is move in front of Bartleby here. Because I've seen him being struck by something.
Yeah, he's been whacked by a
brick. A brick to the face.
A brick to the face.
So yes, he's going to stand there and protect him, basically.
Nice. So you can move there, and you can probably still have enough time to actually delay your action, so you're ready to protect no matter what. Cyrus, you'll still have an action left, so what would you like to do?
I think I should just try to even though it's pretty much using the rest of my power points.
How many magic points do you have left?
Magic points I have, I think 5.
So I'll take another 3.
It'll take 2 because I'm not going to do the distance one this time.
Oh, got ya. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't do a distance one, it'll be touch.
It's touch, yeah. You need to do one distance one.
For Rack, I thought. Alright. I'll do one distance one, I guess.
And not the magnitude.
No, so why is it 3 as well? It's always been touch, Rack?
There's one for casting the spell, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then you get 1 point for anything that you change.
But Rack isn't a touch spell. It's a...
Rack is... All sorcerer spells are touch.
Oh.
Unless you change the range of it.
Got it.
So it doesn't matter how many shaping points you use to adjust it. You just get another turn because you're changing the thing. So you could drop the magnitude. If you just do normal magnitude, then it would be 2 turns because you're only changing the range, and that's all you're changing.
Yeah. You know, sorcerers, but you touch a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well just do that, see what happens. I'll just do the 2. So 2 magic points and 2 turns.
Okay, so you're just doing the range and leaving the
turns.
magnitude at 1. Yeah. Okay, then. So that'll be 2. So you'll start the first turn on this one. Hengist. Hengist, you can actually attack this thing now.
That's what Hengist is going to do. He's going to run at this thing and take a swing if he can.
Yeah,
it's close enough.
Yeah, it's you can take a swing at it by all means. You don't actually just roll your to hit roll. This beast is taking up the whole corridor, so unless you fumble or fail with a 99 or 100, then you're fine. So so you hit it because there's nothing else you can hit, and you sort of like whack your sword into it. You will have a special. And then it will be special hit location damage.
Special will be bleed.
Cool.
Hit location is... Oh, I need to move stuff around to get that. Chest.
What was the dice roll? Because I don't have a chest. Can you just roll a 1d20?
Sorry, yeah, I used the augmented thing. I will roll a 1d20. 17.
Ooh, okay then. Roll.
And then you want
roll some damage.
And remember, it has a -7 to armor.
Yep.
As well. For a lovely round 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay then, that takes that down to... Okay, something interesting happens. You go to hit this beast, but you notice something moves round just below the skin as you thrust your sword into it, and there seemed to be some kind of, I'm going to use the term something like brain-like, so you players understand what I'm meaning, but Hengist would just see like a lump or something like that, and you sort of like, you pull your sword back and you see this coming underneath the skin, and you jab your sword straight in to try to hit this almost like growth that's in there, and you bypass the armor quite nicely, and you whack it into this morphous tumor or whatever it is that's in there, and you notice that the beast almost like recoils as you sort of like stab it into it, and you then withdraw your sword. And can you give me a brawn roll, please? Yeah, and as you pull it out, you feel that this morphous blob is almost like attached to it. It's almost as if it is sucking your sword in just as you're trying to pull it out. You almost like slap your hand on the side of it. It's almost like an impale roll, and you pull it out, and all the skin almost like carries on around. You sort of like pull the skin of the beast out as you pull the sword out, and it sort of like goes, and then it goes blum blum, like that. And you notice this growth, this tumor-like growth inside it, carries on almost like a journey. It seems to be almost like floating around in there. Just so you know, that's the serious hit part. So you actually hit almost like it's brain on that roll, and that's any other location just hits body, and it doesn't really matter. Yes, and Bartley, you're out of points, so we are going to go back up to the top, and sorry, before we do this, Hengist, Hazra, well done. So Hengist, you're going to have a level of fatigue on. Cyrus, you don't need to because you've got vigor on you. And is Hazra back? And Hazra, you're absolutely fine as well, which almost like is logical because it's you, Hengist, that is doing the majority of the.
Hengist is doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And Hengist has shoulder barged the wall a couple of times. So he's getting tired.
One last.
Angus has a big butt. We can't get past him.
Yeah. Well, just before we go for our break, I just want to say something else that you all notice. You notice that this beast is not stopping at this wall. And Hengist, you actually, you jab your sword in and pull it out, and naturally almost like it takes a step backwards. And this beast continues to almost like ooze forward. And the only thing that you actually feel is that it's almost now released. There was not a door here beforehand. There was not a door. There was just a wall. And it's sort of like, it's quite obvious that it's quite keen to get out. And we'll leave it there and go and take our break. So when we come back, we'll be at combat round 3, but we'll be up to the turn 1. Cyrus, your spell will go off on your 15 because it's only 2 turns. You've done 1. And then we'll go through it. So thank you for bearing with us. I did say that combat can take quite a while in here, but it's because there's a lot of special maneuvers, special effects, and actions to do. So do go away, get yourself a drink, grab yourself something to eat, and come back when we see whether or not brave Hengist can halt the flow of the Dream Stalker blob, and see whether or not fire can damage it from Cyrus, how Hazra can protect Bartley, and what new spell will Bartley being gifted from his goddess to act on this hideous creature. We will be back in 10 minutes, so 42 we will start again. So go and stretch your legs, and we will be back in sorry, in the chat. Darth says, Hengist, please yell, "You shall not pass." That would be very appropriate. yeah.
Hengist doesn't have a long enough.
Hold
The
corridor!
Get to the chopper! Okay, we will be back in 10 minutes. See you soon. And Let me turn that on. Let me turn that on.
Right.
And we
Guys,
are.
before we start,
Yeah.
oh,
We are live.
who has the oil
We are live.
lamps?
Who has the oil lamps? I think Bartley has one.
Yep, Bartleby has one lamp, and then Cyrus had a fire blade.
Yeah.
I think I was the only lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I move Bartley, you can see.
So bad news, everybody. I got the corona.
Womp womp.
Oh,
It's the
Well done,
best.
you.
do you know?
It's a shame, but yeah.
Do you hear that if I play that sound effect or not?
I don't know.
Macarona.
You obviously don't, but I just went.
My music volume's on, so I should hear it.
No, because it's going through my.
On the stream.
It's gone through my stream. It's gone via my mixer into the stream, and it's on a different audio channel. That doesn't come into Zoom. So,
Gotcha.
okay then. Yeah. Oh, how exciting! We are starting up at the top. Hazra is feeling the pressure of. No, Hazra is fine. Hengist is feeling the pressure. He's fatigued to one level. Not
First fight in ages, might I point out.
Everybody else is like spring chickens, also like jogging on the on the spot. We're coming to the top of round 3, so this will be the next at the end of round 3. It will be 15 seconds of the fight has gone. Yeah, so we come to the Dream Stalker. It comes first, and there's only one target in its path, Hengist, at the moment, which is you. And it uses his combat style, which is called Eat with Your Mouth.
Nice.
And it sort of like brings round a sort of like a tentacle, a long tentacle with a blob on the end, and it sort of like moves round to try to hit you with it. But as you sort of like step back a little bit, it's just sort of like whizzes past you, and it sort of like adheres to the wall like a, and then goes bloop, and sort of like pulls off. And that tentacle is still not, it's not writhing about anymore. It's just withdrawn into itself. And yeah, Hazra, you're up.
Hazra, do I have enough space to squeeze next to Hengist?
Hengist is, if Hengist was a little bit further back, if he was level with you, then you would. So, but it probably.
In which case, yeah. In which case, Hazra is going to brace himself and maybe he's going to whisper to Hengist if he can, to Bartley if he can. If there is a moment when he can throw
Just remember 5 words.
Throw the lamp!
Throw the lamp if
you
you
daft fool.
can. Throw the lamp
Put
if
the
you can.
spaghetti on.
What are you saying to him, Si?
Put the spaghetti on.
No, I mean,
Throw the
are you saying?
throw the lamp if you can.
Oh yes, please do it. Please do it, because it'd be hard because of Hengist being. And
I'm not being cooked in my armour.
I can imagine Bartleby sort of like going backwards about to throw it, and then it just flies.
Cyrus,
His athletics
Yeah.
is basically at that point.
hits Cyrus on the head, and he just goes
no, I was concentrating.
again.
Stop hitting me.
Okay then, yeah, so you can delay your action if anything happens and is launched at Bartleby. And Cyrus, your spell comes off, so invocation, 2 magic points taken off. See whether or not you've got the power to send it out. Yes, you do. Roll a 1d20. Is luck on your side? No. So you sort of like whack out this fiery tentacle that flies towards it and sort of like pierces it. Again, do some damage for me, please. Yeah, and it sort of like flies towards it, and this time it doesn't seem to even leave a mark there. It just sort of like hits it and comes back to you. I always imagine, it's almost like the Scarlet Witch, in the sense that you're bringing this fire back and then going, or what's that Avatar one? The Last Avatar.
Which Avatar?
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, The Last Airbender. That's it.
One.
You sort of like go like that. It tries to penetrate. It doesn't seem to get through armor or anything. It just sort of like then comes back to your.
That's because it was a terrible film.
It was actually, but
The cartoons are an amazing watch. Both series. I would watch them inwards if you haven't. Side note.
Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is going to take another whack at this thing.
Nice.
So he will sort of like use his hand and half sword two-handed and take a nice big swinging cut at it. Where is me widget ball? There it is.
Yeah.
Yep, I make it.
Yeah, you make it with your hard roll. I can't evade this because I got nowhere to go. So you'll have a special and then hit location. What was your original damage roll for the first one? I can look it up. 24.
It was 9. Oh no,
24. It was.
It was 9. The damage at least.
the damage.
No, you're to hit roll because I
my
have
hit
to
roll is-
make an endurance check for bleed against your original
sorry, yeah.
thing. Endurance check. Oh, you'll love this guy's endurance. Cool.
I do love it.
Whoa.
I critted on a stand.
Nice.
Amazing.
113. Guess who's not going to get tired this round? So he's sort of like so this, you notice where you jabbed it beforehand, it doesn't seem to be bleeding at all. It's also like sealed up. That's just an amorphous part of it. So do some damage for me. This has got bypass armor, hasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's got -7 on armor.
Yeah. And then do some
I
damage.
will use. Oh, hang on.
Or tell me special
Yeah,
first.
I know. That's why I haven't done it. I was about to do one.
Impale.
No, not this time.
Oh, drat.
I gave you the
Maybe-
brawn upgrade for something.
Maybe. Yeah, well, you did, but maybe when that weird internal blob moves around again. Do
you want to choose?
I'll see if I can use. No, I will use bleed. I'll use bleed.
Go for it.
9 points of damage again.
9 points of damage to us. I thought you were going to use choose location as your 9 points to the one.
Oh, I could have done, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I forgot. I had in my head that was a crit, but it's not because that's for archery.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so you whack it in and you stick it in, and again, you need to roll your brawn now to pull it out. Oh, 64 out of 66. He makes it just. It goes. And this one's a little bit harder, and you suddenly feel it tugged against you, and then pull it out. Bartley, you're up for 11.
I'd like to hold my lantern out, because Bartley knows hazard doesn't mean for me to throw it. So, and then with what I actually want to do is use a prayer spell to say, Amriel commands you to stop. Wait, that was about 5.
Amriel commands you to stop. Yeah. I thought you were going to try to influence it or something.
Oh no, I'm not asking, I'm demanding.
You're demanding.
You do have an evade if you want to beat my 86.
I literally can't evade at the moment because
I know.
I've got nowhere to go. And this beast is just coming forward. So, so I need hit location and some damage.
I'm sorry, I was just writing down that I lost a point. Here is your hit location of 19.
Oh, Nice.
And your damage is in turns, since I can't actually do damage.
1d3.
Yeah,
Two
two turns of feeling slightly hurt.
Okay, so what you've actually done is hit what I'm going to call the central mass from now on. And so Hengist hit it beforehand, and you actually see this comes round, or maybe you just fire the shock spell, and Amriel, your goddess, waits for the appropriate moment and brings it down onto the central mass. And therefore, and this is only because you've hit the central mass, by the way, otherwise it wouldn't have any effect at all. It's actually not going to be able to attack for 2 turns. If you hit anywhere else, it wouldn't have mattered, because if it had a numb bit of its body, that wouldn't be a problem. But due to that 19, it's 17, 18, and 19 and 20, the hit location, just so you know. You actually hit it, so it can't attack for 2 turns now. Just to let you know, at this point, at the end of this round, and this is not necessarily movement force per se, it's more like people are fighting, and as you fight, you sort of like take a step back, and now the amorphous blob, the Dream Stalker, is actually in the corridor now. So Hazra, next turn you will be able to attack as well. So this comes to combat turn 2, and Dream Stalker will just delay its action. It can't make any attack because it's stunned. Care of Bartley. Hazra, you're on 18. You are close enough to whack it now.
Wonderful. With Hazra seeing this thing coming towards him and seeing Hengist back up a little bit, he will take a swing at this thing, focusing on this strange blob that's inside this gelatinous mass. So here we go.
What's Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Darth has just said Swords of Revealing Light.
It's a cartoon about a magical card game.
Yeah, card game.
Cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh is an awesome card game.
It is. It's an awesome TV show.
They both, yeah.
Roll your to hit roll.
I can't find my to-hit roll. There we go. Here we go.
It's 107, I think.
It is 107, and there's a 27.
27 does actually hit. So you can, you'll have a special, and then a
hit location. Well, a special will be hit location.
Okay.
Hit location will be whatever 18, 17, 18, 19 is.
Nice.
Gelatinous mass. And damage will be with my amazingly blade sharp.
Yeah, so is it 1d8 now, or 1d10?
1d10.
Nice.
And I got a 7.
7. And do you have the 7 points of bypass armor on the way?
I do indeed, yes.
So that would be on there. So that would go through there. Okay. Yeah, and you sort of like slice it through, and you sort of like, you almost like see this amorphous cancerous growth pass within it, and you just go like that. You need to roll a brawn roll. This is not an attack.
No, it's to get my scimitar back out again, isn't it? And luckily, I'm a slapdash at this. A very slapdash. I use a point of light and re-roll that, if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine.
Because what he's doing is he's swinging in the same step. He's spinning around ready for another swing.
Yeah. We believe you.
There we go.
And with
style and panache.
With a stroke of luck, you managed to reveal it.
To keep the momentum going through the goo.
Oh yes, Darth has just explained there was a card in Yu-Gi-Oh called Swords of Revealing Light, which when it played stopped the other player for attacking for 2 to 3 turns. Hence it's like the shock.
I must get that.
Yeah, so brilliant. I just feel like it has to be said by Swords of Revealing Light. I call for you for.
It's pretty much how they did it in the TV show.
Was it? Fantastic. Cyrus. Now, Cyrus, you have a choice with your rack spell. You can either keep it lanced in where it is and do damage, or you can do your last airbender and pull it back and then fire it in again, and then you can roll another hit location. So it's up to you.
Doing choice number 2 because
Again.
that seems dramatic and awesome.
Yeah. And you can just, you're sort of like looking through Hengist's and Hazard's legs at the moment at this thing, because you're sort of like, you're quite low down, remember.
9.
On your 9, yeah, do me some damage. Oh yeah, that sort of like hits the skin, but doesn't see. There's a bit of sissing as it gets rid of the moisture, but that's about it. It doesn't look like it slowed it down. But don't worry.
3 times a charm.
Yeah, nobody noticed. And Hengist.
Looking for the demute button then. Hengist is gonna take another swing at this thing. He's gonna be chopping away at it. Yes, I made it.
Yes, you did.
Made my hard by 10.
Yeah, 48 out of 58. Nice. So special hit location damage.
Hit location is 6.
Why are you not using choose location?
But
I was just thinking the same thing.
Hengist is tired. His timing is off. He is tired.
I need some damage. What's your...
Hengist is using Impale this time.
Nice.
And damage will be 11.
Or 8.
It's 11.
Okay, so we take the 11. This has bypass armor on, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and what you need to do now is roll your brawn. However, before you roll it, this normally is a standard roll. But because you've impaled it, it's now a hard roll. However, because you're fatigued, it's up again. If that makes sense.
It is formidable.
So it's formidable now.
Do you remember how Hazra was when we first did Impale? Oh my god, no, you don't!
In,
Awesome.
twist, out. All those hours of training have paid off. In, twist, out.
That was
The first time I did Impale, I was like, can't get out.
So by the way, so did Hengist.
So you sort of like in twist, pull it out, and Darth said, "Hengist smash," pull it out. And you do
Only Hengist had
notice.
his hammer.
You do notice for the first time ever, this beast from that wound that's just been made seems to be weeping. There seems some kind of almost like jelly-like pus oozing out of it. It's quite, when I say it's yellow, it's not bright yellow or pleasant yellow. It's really dark.
Cancerous.
Yeah. And there's definitely a weird smell coming out of it. But yeah, that 11 points obviously did some serious damage to it.
When do I do the half damage for pulling the sword out of impaired? Is it now or is it next turn?
Next turn.
Awesome. I couldn't remember. That was all.
Yeah. And now we've got Bartley.
And since Bartley doesn't have any more prayers that he wants to cast, I'm going to spend this turn praising Amriel for guiding towards that.
So battle is going on, and you hear, "Oh, praise to Amriel" in the background from a.
Everybody's gonna get like. I'm bringing up morale. We're praising Amriel up over here.
Brilliant, and that takes us up to the final pass. I can't. This is my second turn of not doing anything, so I can't do anything. However, Hazra, you can do something if you've got an action left.
And as I said before, as Hazra forcefully took his scimitar out of this thing, which was a lot harder than what he thought. He's spinning on his left leg, and he's going for another swipe with his scimitar.
This would be so funny if you fumble now, because I'm definitely going to say you spin right round, get a bit dizzy, and end up flat on your back.
Yeah.
So,
I've got a +7 armor penetration, so I could have killed him.
or you face palm the Dream Stalker.
Roll your brawn to pull your face out of the acidic
thing.
So let's have
cube.
Let's have a to hit roll.
There we go. 13 out of
Nice.
7.
So I need hit locations, special hit location and damage.
Choose location again will be this horrible thing that's floating around his side.
Yeah, nice.
And blade sharp is going to be, give me a 10. that is a golf clap.
You rolled 1d10 and got 1.
At least he went through because I've got the +7 armor. Hopefully, unless you had any armor, then no.
Yes, it did. It did go through. I just need to make a brawn, an endurance check against your
1.
Your attack, which was 13. Yep.
Yeah. Please get a 12.
No, 82. Yeah, it's
damn you.
It's still up and ready. Cyrus, do you have another action?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay then. So are you airbending it out and then whack it in again? Yeah. Okay. So to hit roll.
I go in and out. That's all I'll do. I'll do it this way.
Oh, so close to the amorphous mass in there, but sadly not. Do some damage for me.
It's a little bit better. Keep whipping it.
Yeah, it sort of like sizzles on this skin. It's a shame that spells can't have bypass armor on as well, isn't it?
No, it does.
Hengist.
Judo chop.
Hengist is going to have to pull the sword out.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to roll your brawn.
Doesn't make it this time.
It doesn't make it, and you try to pull it out, but this beast seems to have very careful hold on it. And what's worse, you sort of like try to pull it out of it, and you can't pull it. And when you sort of like relax it again, you notice that it's up to the hilt of your sword. This beast is definitely engulfing it. You will have a choice next round to either, I'm telling you now so you can decide what you want. When it comes to the Dream Stalker's action, it can engulf the weapon, and you have a choice. You can either leave go of the weapon, or you can try to pull it out. However, if you try to oppose the roll and fail, then the hilt, the pommel hilt, and your hand goes in. Okay, so you can either leave go of it, and then it'll just get taken into the Dream Stalker, or you could try to pull it out. It'd be like a normal brawn resistance roll, and if you do it, then you pull your sword out. That's not a problem. If you fail, your hand's in there as well as your sword. Okay, so have a think about that. Bartley won't have any action points, so we're going up to round 4. So at the end of this, Bartley, you'll need to...
Oh, do I get to do another roll? Okay.
Yeah, you do. Not yet. At the end, round 4. Okay, so this is Dream Stalker now. The Dream Stalker realizes that your weapon is in it, Hengist, so it's not going to attack you, but it is going to attack you, Hazra.
I'm sorry, but there's nobody here by that name.
And it shoots out a tentacle at you. Yeah, that will hit. So you can either try to parry it with your weapon, in which case it'll be on your weapon, but you won't take any damage of it. You can evade out the road and just sort of like roll off to one side, or you can just take it.
Hazra is going to take it because he knows his fists are no good against this thing, but his sword is. So if this thing attaches itself to him, he's going to take it, and at least he's taking it rather than Bartlemy's taking it.
Do you know, that is so gallant. I really think that is.
Yeah, I'm playing to the masses, to be fair.
So, okay.
And I also have 7 points of damage resist, so I'm okay.
So this...
You think and hope.
I think and hope.
This hits you on the 15.
Oh, right arm. Oh, is it right?
No, that's his
right
5.
It's my right, so I'm taking this, yeah.
And this is the damage. Let me just make sure that I've got my... Yeah. So he rolled, just so you know, he has 1d8 plus 1d4 for damage, and he rolled a 1 and a 2.
That's like my life, isn't it?
So
it's like payback, karma.
So he only does 3 points of damage when the maximum could be 12.
So 1 point goes through, but does my damage resist counter that?
Why would 1 point go through? What's your damage? Don't you have...
Damage yeah, I've got armour of 2, but Longshank said that depends on my damage. No. So I'm okay for 7 points damage, aren't I?
Yeah, so you...
That's right. You
Yeah.
little trickster.
Yeah, so you it's just sort of like Cyrus's spell protects you from it.
That's right.
And yes, that's it done. Hazra, it's your turn.
Hazra, again, he's going to go for it. He's seen this thing slap out. It's attached to his arm, his right arm, his scimitar arm. So he's going to swing as best he can and try to hit this gelatinous blob thing. Is it harder?
No.
Or no? Okay. So his sword arm.
18. It hasn't attached itself. It's just come out and hit you with drawn.
Sorry, right.
Yeah,
okay.
if you had parried it, it would attach to your sword.
Right, okay. Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, it can't do anything. So you got special hit location damage.
Okay, again, location will be the same as before. This thing inside.
Yeah. So you're almost like there, thinking, not yet, no.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes, it's just watch this thing spin around, and I will do 1 point more damage in your face. Hang on. No, I've got. Sorry, my fault. I've got 1d1 instead of 1d10.
No way.
No, I haven't. No.
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 1 point of damage.
Endurance check.
Yes, I do need to make an endurance check.
Against my really low roll, which is really bad for me.
And I got 57, so
yeah.
I'm still up and working. Cyrus.
Yes. I am going to take it in and take it out, you know?
Okay,
Give it a whip.
pull it back, whack it in.
Yeah.
To hit
In
roll
and out.
first.
Mm.
Oh!
Yes!
Hang on. You need to do some damage. You saw like
Which is that thing from Endgame where you've got like the what's the Del Toro in the little chamber going.
Yeah.
That's me.
Come on, baby. No.
Do you know you've picked up this combat strategy from Hazra, and as it comes by, you sort of go, and the flame shoots out, but it does your fire magic doesn't seem to be able to penetrate this at all. You hear Bartley probably going, "You should have trusted in Amriel." He sort of like goes. He sort of like looks at you and say, "Did you see what my shock spell did?" If you could
try praising first.
It's almost like shouting.
Shocked everybody. I shocked everybody with how badass that was.
Yeah. Hengist, you're up.
Yes. He's going to let go of his sword and draw his dagger.
Oh, yeah. So you leave.
Years of training.
You,
If your weapon is fouled or stuck in the enemy, you're dead if you hold on to it. So he drops it and gets out his
yeah,
dagger.
and
ready to
sure
attack.
as you feel it tugged a bit, and you quickly leave go of it, and it does go, and you see it disappear. You can see it within the body now, with a bit of disease, a bit of acid on it. You draw your little dagger, and that's on
And it now has a parry attack.
yeah. Bartley, if you parry, you'll take half damage now because your weapon's smaller. Bartley, you're up on 11.
Am I able to?
Who do you want to
cast a
touch?
burn?
Who do you want to touch now?
Hengist.
Stranger danger.
I wanted to blade sharp Hengist if I
Touch
can.
me here and here.
But there's some instances where it might be hazardous to do.
I think what you're going to have to move to start off with. Hazard will be close enough to touch. So you need to move over there. And because combat is quite rapidly going now, and people are moving backwards, etc., etc. What you're trying to do, blade sharp, so it's just a folk magic spell, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. You can cast it via touch, but it's not going to be standard. It's going to be hard.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. Blade sharp and pow. Oh.
Is there a luck
Oh,
point?
so I'm happy to do that.
I'd
Just
like
go
to use my last luck point to give that a reroll.
Why not? Why not just
because-
reverse it?
Because you said it's hard.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. 79. I forgot.
I
that.
mean, I'd
Yeah.
be happy to reverse it if it succeeds.
No. I was just testing. Oh, that's better. That's much better. So that comes onto your little dagger. So you feel Bartley touching you from behind, Hengist.
Touching your little dagger.
And
Priesthood.
your little dagger becomes super powerful. And
so much firmer.
I was watching you pick your words with great care there, Inwils, and then Medivac with his potty mouth.
yeah, okay.
That's not a bad word.
So your dagger is now blade sharp. So what damage does it do normally?
It's a thrusting damage.
It's normally
It's a piercing
1d4
weapon,
plus
I
one,
think.
plus my 1d2 damage modifier, so it is now a 1d6 plus 1
Yeah.
plus my 1d2 modifier.
Cool. Okay, and that's
So
the
I'm still doing as much damage as Hazra's scimitar, pretty much.
That's awesome, but with such a small blade.
That's how I use it.
Yeah, that's right.
as Cyrus well knows, and we're talking about small blades. And okay, let's
You
move.
mean tripod?
Let's move on.
Like, I heard that when putting my thing down. I still
So let's go back to the top of the round. This is turn 2, and Dream Stalker goes first. I'm literally going to just roll. Hengist, you are odds. Hazras, you are evens. Odds. So it comes for you, Hengist.
I'm going to use my luck point to make you re-roll. I'm joking.
I've often thought Henger's been odd.
Oh, I was going
If only
to.
I had my luck roll here, I'll be like, I'm making you re-roll that one.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not you could do
What
that.
time is it? You can't use it.
Yeah, there's another 42 minutes. Okay, then.
Hengist used it in his first 10 minutes.
Here's your to hit roll as it comes out and whacks you. What would you like to do?
Hengist will try and block.
Okay.
We'll try and parry.
Yeah, parry it. Go for it.
Hengist has to use his previous combat skill because his two-handed combat skill doesn't include his sax, but he's still got his
Correct.
original combat
Yeah.
skill, which has
He's going to get a
sax
special.
or
Don't
his
worry about
dagger
it.
included.
Yeah, he's going to
He's
get.
going to get a special. Reverse it and get a special.
Yeah, you fail to block it. Probably as you draw your dagger, it comes straight for you, and this beast whacks out its tentacle, hits you in the leg, and does. Let me just roll.
What's your hand and a half sword damage?
You notice it's actually brought your sword round, and that would have been cool. It does 6 points of damage, which I don't think it'll get. I think it got 7 points of armor.
We've got 7 points of damage resist, and then I'd have 5 points of armor.
Yeah, so that's fine. It sort of like whacks into you and leaves a bit of a sizzle, but that's it. Hazra, you're up on 18.
Again, he's just going to rinse and repeat. He's single-mindedly now going, chopping away with the scimitar.
Nice.
So, please.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah, that's a hit. And your damage, location is going to be 17, 18, or 19.
Yeah.
This tonight, again, he's watching this thing spinning around, and he's assuming this blob will move close when he's going to try and hit Hengist.
Nice.
So he'll see that and straight in there.
And straight in at it.
Great, and he's going to do more than 1 damage. 3.
But you have bypass armor, don't you?
I do, yes. Yeah.
Right. So what's your roll for that one? 68.
Which is not a bad roll.
It's not. I need to do my endurance check against. Boom, boom, boom.
Shut the front door. Anything but.
I get critical.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
thank
done.
you. Thank you.
Do you actually? Oh no, it's not a defensive critical. It's endurance.
Yeah. Cyrus, you're up. Rinse and repeat, Cyrus.
Actually, I'm gonna keep it in the same place, but can I maybe do the damage?
Yeah,
different?
that's absolutely fine.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
Whereabouts was it?
So
19.
can't you move location up 1 from where you are, or not? Is that not possible with your spell?
You can.
But I would have to re-roll. I have to re-roll the. Ow! Jesus, cat.
Do some damage for me.
All right.
Yeah,
Better?
it is better, but it doesn't go through its armor. Does Rack stop? Is armor stopped by Rack?
I was going to say, doesn't Rack ignore armor?
Hold
it's
on.
disrupt that ignores all the armor.
Oh, right, sorry.
I think Rack is.
There's something Rack does. I don't know if it's all armor or just natural armor, but hold on.
To the book.
Yeah, I actually let me.
No, yeah. Worn armor does not protect, but natural or magical armor. So it has natural armor, so that's fine. It's just that you could rack Hengist and he wouldn't have any protection.
I remember. Oh my god. Sugar Wugger, I can't remember his character name.
Gulliver.
Gulliver doing a rack spell and going through the armor before.
Yeah. I don't know why, unless it wasn't natural. But worn armor doesn't protect. So when that reminds me, because when I was looking at the last adventure, when I couldn't hit Hengist because of his armor, I thought, that's a nice spell. A bit of a rack.
Hengist's protection and armor in that case is putting the sword through the throat of the caster.
The only difference with that is
that 20 feet away.
Yeah, because I could actually cast it at range, and just out of interest, the magic
Hengist moves very quickly.
And I can dismiss magic.
I'm only going to say this once. Do you remember the ninjas?
Do you know what my max?
Tree ninjas.
What? The 4 times we've been attacked by ninjas?
Yeah, the ones that jump from the tree, tripped on the ground. And went,
if I use 10 points of shaping, the range of my spell will be 15 kilometers multiplied by my power.
Shut up.
Is it so?
Wait, don't you have to see your target?
You have to have line of sight. You won't have line of sight with Hengist.
Yes, it does.
When you're on that mountain, can you get my spear?
Yeah. But if you remember, I think Gulliver's used this before. Sorcerers have phantom sense.
Oh.
like clairvoyance,
Yeah.
and so they can they can actually cast through that, because
That's right.
this is
Can
why.
through buildings and things as well.
That's why we carry a
Yeah.
pet sorcerer of
Yeah,
Amriel.
this
with
is
us.
why the other sorcerers are really powerful, and Cyrus is trying to aspire to that. That's Cyrus done. Hengist, we're up.
Hengist is going to try and get rid of this tentacle that's on him, however he wants to.
Oh,
however
that's not attached to you. It just
Oh, it's
came
not
out.
attached to me.
Yeah, so you
he just whacked me. Okay, I will attack then.
cool.
I will attack if I can find my right button. Nope, I didn't make it again.
Never mind.
Getting tired.
Jabby, jabby.
Bartleby gets bored when combat lasts for so long. He can do stuff at the beginning and stuff at the end, but actually in the middle.
That's why he's got the cat picture, because he's having a nap at the moment.
I still enjoy hanging out with you guys and watching you guys kick butt. But I'd like to take
What did
another
you say
hard
there?
touch.
Oh, kick butt. I do.
Yes.
Or whatever this thing, this fleshy thing is.
The verb we're looking for is massage, but right.
Are you casting a spell?
Yeah, I'd like to take another one of those hard roll touch spells to pass Hengist an energy drink. This one, if I can.
Yeah, cool.
I have no luck. Okay, good.
Yeah, so therefore you're not going to. That will reduce your fatigue to normal, Hengist. So that will reduce it back to standard roll.
Amazing.
Amriel energy drink.
Hengist feels the strength and the stamina of Amriel flow through him, and he feels he's ready.
Sounds
You've
pretty.
been touched by a priest, haven't you?
So this is coming to same as before. Hengist, your odds. Hazra, your evens. Evens, Hazra, it's coming for you. As it fires its tentacle out. Oh, it's feeling the strain here. It is feeling the strain. It misses.
As Hazra sees this tentacle come shooting out, and he just moves gently to one side, and it goes. Again, and with the momentum, he's going to swing down because he can see this membranous brain thing come towards him, and he's going to strike it down. Strike it lucky.
Yeah. So do some damage, because I think I know where you're going to be hitting.
6 this time.
Ouch.
Nice.
Okay.
And that's a nice endurance roll for you, hopefully. Oh, shut up.
No.
Oh, that's okay. Oh.
No, it actually fails it, which means that as it comes around, you're waiting for it and you whack it, and you sort of like hit it with such force this time that you actually slice through this central mass, this brain, and it almost like separates out. And what you suddenly notice is that the amorphous blob just sort of like go, and it sort of like spreads out, and it's almost like as it starts to spread, it seems to change, and it seems to almost like liquefy as it spreads out. But once it's finished, there's a slight hiss, and suddenly before you, apart from a faint wet mark on the ground, this creature has gone. There's no remains of it. Your sword is actually there, Hengist, but this creature has gone. And Bartleby, just roll Law of... Cyrus, you can roll your Order of the Phoenix, and you can use Law of Monsters. You both roll it.
Got an 11 on standard.
Yeah. Q. Let's wait for... Yeah, so you both both the mages, or the theist and the mage in the sorcerer in the group, this is quite common for things that are magically summoned. You know, they don't actually have any true body. It's literally conjured up from somewhere, and so once you kill it, the magic is broken, and the summons is removed, and then that's it. Okay, I'm going to remove this. So you do have, I think you should be able to move into the room if you wish to.
Can we class Angus's sword as party loot? As we just found it on the floor.
Darth said.
No.
Darth
No.
says. Hengist picks up his sword lovingly, saying, "Let us never be parted again."
And his sword is so moist.
Yeah. So you can move your characters forward if you wish to go in.
I'm more interested to find my spear. Well, joking aside.
Yeah.
So I'll sheath my scimitar as we move in, and I'm looking for my spear, which...
Okay, so the first thing that you notice as you enter in is that here and here, these are rings of bookcases, and there's an outside wall full of books. This is full of books. This is full of books. You do notice that your spear actually landed just by this pillar.
Lovely, thank you.
So you can get that, and you can take some time to sort of like explore this area and sort of like move around to see it. I'm going to take the lighting effect off. Because you'll be able to see it all. So this appears to be a massive library. It's very big. All these books, all these shelves have books on them. But you notice that there seems to be, over the top of each bound book, there seems to be like a fine chain, and each of the books has like an eye on it, as in a hook and eye, and the chain goes through all the books and then is padlocked to the actual shelf. Does that make sense? So you can't actually pull any of them out. You might notice that in the middle there's a circle with some kind of summoning circle on. You can see round about there's various candles, remains of animals, heads, bits of some blood or whatever. And there seems to be inside the circle, there's definitely, you can see where this creature might have been. It would have actually fit inside the circle. Apart from that, there are brackets up on the wall that torch can be added to if needed, but there seems to be no torches in the brackets. Okay.
Sorry, refresh my memory. If we cover the summoning area, nothing can be summoned from there. Is that right?
That's what happens with portals.
Portals. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But I mean, Hasbro would probably think of it both the same. So if he wants to put something on it, then...
Well, what Hutchison did do, he's going to say to Bartley, Cyrus, and possibly Longshanks as well. He's going to say it out loud. He's going to say, I will watch the entrance if you want to maybe cover up the portal there to stop things from coming in. And Hasbro then move with his spear. Now he's going back to here.
Yeah, cool.
He's going to watch this because he's no good with books. He's no good with magic. He's going to watch our escape.
Cool. What's the rest of you want to do?
Anyone have any ideas? You go first. It's hard without an illiteracy skill. illiterate.
Hengist will sort of like stand where he is, and he'll glance around at all the books with eyebrows raised, and then just say, "Seems to be that we have completed our task here. Perhaps we should go back and report that the creature is defeated by our hands and claim our rewards."
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I was going to say, hearing this, Hauser will say, no, I think that maybe Bartleby and maybe Sarah should have a look at these books and see if there are things that we could maybe use, or if maybe there's something here that could hurt Lindo. Maybe Kristoff is trying to find something that will bring the city down, or bring him more power.
If you take a look around, the place
Go,
is
go for the
a
portal.
complete mess. It's a complete mess. So they're not going to notice if maybe a few books here and there go missing.
Count Bastian should know about this place, not Kristoff.
Kristoff is marrying the lady of my house.
Hengist.
This belongs to him and the house Galot.
Who is your
Wait, why?
Who is your ultimate master? It is Count Bastian, is it not? He is the lord of this city.
And why do you think it would belong to your house? Why didn't it belong to people who would actually use this knowledge, such as my order or even the church?
I'm sure that the
This
House
has
Galot,
nothing to do with yours.
which is a very noble house and has nothing but the interests of Lindo at heart. I mean, we provide arms free of charge to Count Bastian and his guard, so I'm sure they'll be allowed. His servants would be allowed to use it.
Hengist, my friend, we have agreed on many things. Why not let Bartleby? Bartleby, what do you think of this?
What's Bartleby?
Should this knowledge not be shared, and Count Bastian is the best person to share this, or would you rather give it to Kristoff, who runs inns and is very dubious, and we've never heard of before?
He is also
if Count Bastian deems him
betrothed
worthy,
to the lady of Galot.
I don't know this lady.
Again, I don't know who that is. It's some chick. I don't know.
Is this lady who's half dead and came back a zombie?
Bartleby, what do you think? Should we take a look, see maybe something that shouldn't be in the hands of some random tavern owner?
So Bartleby was actually more in awe of this library, so he probably didn't stick around for any of that conversation, and he just wandered off to look at the books and to let Amriel guide his mind. If anything stands out that has a certain twin moon kind of look to it, I guess.
Ooh, nice.
Okay then.
He'll go off and do.
Roll your literacy skill.
Ooh yeah, I've got the highest literacy in the group.
The only literacy in the
Not
group.
very high.
There is something that you notice straight away. The book bind, the sort of like the side of the book all have titles on them. They all seem to be some kind of made out of some kind of black leather, and down the spine of the book is the title of the book, and it's inlaid with what appears to be gold into the spine of the book. The strange thing is, though, Bartleby, these are not written in the common language. This is a completely different language. They are. You're not even sure what the letters are different, how they're formed. It almost like has a feeling of Arabic about it. There's very the swirls, and it looks a very elegant language, but you can't. You just look at one and think what, and then look at the next one, and the next one. And you think, I have no idea. This is not common at all. As in the common language.
I think both definitions fit here. An underground library does not seem very, very common. Is this the same if I like go to the next aisle.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just this section. It's like the implied majority of the books are in this script.
Yeah, exactly. All of them. Hazard, can you just make a perception check for me, please?
Certainly. Yeah. Oh, that's never happened before.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
while you were talking beforehand, for a split second, your eyes were taken off the corridor.
I would have been looking backwards and saying to Bartley
Yeah.
about things, and then looking forward again. Yes, yeah.
And when you look back,
Robbie Williams.
Kristoff is there. You didn't hear him coming at all. Not at all. And you're good at hearing things. There was no splash. There was no footsteps. And you are aware of him when he goes, "Oh my God," as he looks around the library.
Is Hengist aware? Well, Hengist is aware of Kristoff, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right.
So Hengist will say, I've just seen Medivac's background. Hengist will turn to Kristoff and say, "We have defeated the creature that was guarding this place. It's seemingly unguarded now."
He said, "Yes, I sensed its demise."
Luckily, you showed up right the perfect time after it died.
Azrael will look at Kristoff and say, You move very silently for a man of your stature."
He says, "Oh, thank you, Master Hazra. Coming from a person like you with your gifts and talents, that is truly praise indeed." He turns to you, Cyrus, and looks down at you and says, "I am happy to come after the battle. I possess no powers at all, no skill with a blade or sword, not even a wooden spoon, I'm afraid, to actually contribute. I do humbly thank you, Cyrus. You yourself are probably very wise and powerful."
I think you get the right impression. I like that, yeah.
It's
the correct one.
When you're thinking that, you notice that a smile almost like passes over his face, and he sort of like says, "I do not wish to be forward about this, Master Cyrus, but would this be a suitable time to say that I am more than happy to give, say, a recommendation to your mentor about the skill and professionalism and aptitude that you actually shared in this conquest, this encounter? I would be quite willing to speak very highly of you. I know that some of your order have external sponsors that, shall I say, ease the way through the progression of the order. I'm happy to put in a good word if that's what you would like me to do. Of course, I totally accept that you might want to do this by yourself, and it might take you a certain amount of time to do that while others around you gain their promotion somewhat quicker."
Yeah, well, typically I would say I'll do it myself, but in this case, seeing that the rest seem to be definitely not playing by the rules correctly, honestly, I'm going to accept your offer, and I very much appreciate that.
Mr. Cyrus, you honour me with your acceptance.
But can I ask for one more thing?
It depends what that thing may be.
I'm just going to ask. I don't know if you will accept, but here's the thing. I'm assuming this is extremely rare collection of books that you're. I just asked if I can maybe get one book based on your suggestion in here that might increase my studies, improve upon them, and may even outside of the order.
This is indeed a great find, and he sort of like can see into the room. Yes, there seems to be some kind of locking mechanism on the shelves. But I agree with you, Hazra. I think once we can find a suitable book for you, then yes, I am more than willing to, shall I say, coat the deal with a sugary cherry.
Hey, if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it. I'm assuming you meant Cyrus and not Hazra.
Yes, I am just. It's because
So I'm back like.
it's just because when I see Hazra, I think of a sugary cherry.
Are you a priest?
No.
No, he's a bar owner.
So yes, I totally agree. Yes, Hengist, Master Hazra, is there anything I can do for either of you for your wonderful your dealings with this rather unpleasant situation?
Angus, my friend, you go first.
Your nobilism amazes me. You are so humble, Mr. Hazra. So humble.
As I have no skill with books and reading, my skill lies in other places. My only request would be that Master Bartleby could use the library or have access to the library if he wishes so.
I completely agree. And maybe Master Cyrus and Master Bartleby and myself can meet here tomorrow and we can start our investigation. Oh, I have another gift for you, Hengist. Please do not think that hopefully you do not think that I overstood my mark and my station, but I've had a word with a certain female and the family, and shall we say that everything is in hand now.
I see.
It was the least I could do for your participation.
What?
I see. Thank you for smoothing that over.
But, and he notices Bartleby out of there. He says, I am forgetting my manners. I cannot just give you good wishes and do deeds for you. I suggest I pay you. Well, I have made several profitable evenings, so I am more than willing to pay you for your help with this. You have been such helpful people, I must say. When I first met you, I did think that some of you, and I feel dreadful even thinking about it, some of you actually, shall I say, disliked me. I am so pleased that you have obviously changed your mind about this. Once you get to know me, I am the most gracious and humblest person.
I'm sorry, Kristoff, but you'd not asked me what I would like.
Oh yes, by all means, Mr. Hazra, what would you like?
Yeah, I would like to know where you came from.
Yes.
And perhaps how did you save Lady Harmony? Because last time I saw Lady Harmony, she was dying a terrible death.
What?
She was like wasting away on a bed, and now she's like a spring chicken.
When was this?
This was before we came to see you, and you brought her into your tavern for the first time. And
I did not know anything like this. Please tell me, Master Hazra. I am quite shocked that you were in the lady's bedroom to start off with, but please tell me.
Sorry, Hazra
Hengist
wasn't involved. I had a message from the Lady Harmony's household a few days ago asking for assistance and the assistance of Master Bartleby here. But rest assured, everything is fine, and you have seen the Lady Harmony since. She has been healed by the House of Amriel.
I'm sorry, Master Hengist, but you said that she was dying. Mr. Bartleby, what did you say? When you went to see her, what did you see?
Is this a fair point for Bartleby to perhaps approach the group?
Yes, by all means. Hazra says, Bartleby, come here, Bartleby.
Oi, back me up, mate.
Sorry, you guys said something about priestly duties and...
You remember when we sat at Basil's tavern and you were called away because Lady Harmony was in dire. She was very ill. She was on death's door. She may not have long.
I
You
am
were
so
sent to go and help her.
shocked. She has
Yeah.
said nothing of this to me.
Well, it's because, well, Hengist knows we got a higher priest to come over since it was out of my priestly abilities.
No, Mr. Bartleby, surely there is nobody more powerful than yourself in the church.
Amriel chooses those who she chooses to bear her immense power, and I'm trying to prove myself to her that I am worthy of bearing that power against her enemies. Can I ask you a question? I don't know. Maybe I'm interrupting you guys. What language is on these books?
Language?
Yeah.
The books in a
gesture to
different...
the nearest one.
And he sort of like looks at it and says, "Oh my, yes, that certainly is not common. Very strange. Are they all like this, Mr. Bartleby?"
See, I was wondering why I couldn't read them.
No, that's because you're a dunce.
Join the club.
I was wondering, I was like, this seems a little off from what I'm used to.
I just imagine flashing back to a bedroom with Cyrus in bed with a learn to read book that's going, "The cat sat on a dog."
Peter and Jane.
Yeah. This is a
hard to learn when you're drunk all the time.
Very strange language. Mr. Bartleby, is there anybody that you know in Lindo? I am but a very recent arrival. Anybody who might know this language?
So Kristoff, where did you come from? You arrived here recently, but from where?
I came from across the seas in an island or a continent beyond. The name of the place that I came from, and he gives the name Hengist of your home world.
Hengist, you see Hengist like visibly bright up at that point. How you said you came recently? How goes the affairs?
I am not one to be dabbling in people's affairs. Shall I just say, the land has had a much more, shall I say, relaxing time. Hence why I left.
I see.
Is there anybody, Bartleby, who you think might be able to help us with this language?
Well, there's
one person.
I don't think anybody in my church would be interested in this, but I think perhaps I know a map maker who might know somebody.
Oh, that sounds really good. The hour is ticking on, and I suggest that we make some kind of arrangements down here. But tell me, I am not used to employing adventurers and protectors like yourself. Please let me know, how much do I owe you?
How much?
Can I roll my commerce skill for this?
Yeah, you can do.
To get a general.
$1 billion pieces.
And I'm going to use my last luck point of the night to switch that to 19.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
How much would you want?
3 silver pieces.
No, I want to know what you what should we ask for in this case?
It depends how much you want to charge, in the sense of what are you actually charging for?
We want
shares.
Well,
okay, is it fair? Is it fair
equipment.
to ask, because he would not have access to this without us? So is it fair to ask like 10 to 20% of the proceeds he would probably make from selling these books?
If he sells them.
Correct.
Yeah, but he's probably going to.
No, I don't think he will.
No.
I know.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, you could suggest that would be a suitable commerce offer to suggest. You do realise that if that happens, then you wouldn't get any money until the books were sold. But it would be quite easy to sort of like say,
hey, what do you you pay us what you think, no?
I mean,
Or maybe, and if you think we deserve, if you make a profit on the future ones, in fact, Hazard's going to shut up now because I know nothing about this.
He is a pretty gracious guy in most senses. Like he gives people free drinks all the time. He's terrible at making a business, I assume, or at least a front of a business.
if I give you some average sort of like cost to sort of like feed in, so a freeman, so a bit like Hazra, who has a hut or a cabin, normally makes about 2 silver pieces a day, 15 a week, and then say 750 a year. The gentry can earn up to 3,500 silver a year. The aristocrats would be more the high nobility. They can earn up to like 20,000 a year.
That's because it's taken it from the freeman.
Well, exactly.
The uprising's coming.
So would it be extreme for us to ask for like say 250 each?
I
Just ask.
I think if
No, look,
that would be a total of what?
Of 1,000.
Yeah, I mean that. You know, you assume that Kristoff is not a free man, so he's probably some kind of gentry. So I mean that would be a valuable, a valid starting point.
Yeah, so it's 250 each, and because it's one big thing, and obviously he's going to make a lot of money off of. So hopefully, that's why he hired us to be, to do this for him. So does that seem accurate for you guys, or no?
Yeah.
250. 250.
what does Mr.
250,
Bartleby
300,
think?
something like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Bartleby, what do you think?
You can
Well,
always
it's hard to.
you can always donate it if you wish.
Oh yeah, you can donate your. But how about we'll donate your proceeds, all right?
I'm considering more, and trust me, I know about these things, although I cannot read, but the knowledge is more important. Do you know what I mean? The knowledge in this room could be vast and could be a change for the land and all around it, or it may hold histories of what have happened before here.
Yeah.
I only sought to destroy this creature that was tormenting Lindo. Money is a trivial thing
No,
in light of our celebration.
I don't mean about the money. It's the knowledge is getting this room that it could be very important to everybody.
He's saying,
I agree.
I think Hengist is, or Hazras is suggesting that it's very valuable things in here, and whoever would be the buyer would be very wealthy, right?
Yes, this well, not wealthy, but there are things that we need to learn, perhaps in this area. Why is this here? I've never heard of this here before.
How about this? We'll do 250 plus one book that we'll figure out once we figure out what the books say. I think that should be pretty good, right?
No, maybe the money is it's consequential to me myself, but if these books can help the land and the people around us, then perhaps they should stay here. They should not be one person's hands, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, you're trying to say that we should be like.
No, they should be given to Count Bastian, not this Kristoff.
Got it.
This is my thing. Kristoff should not have the sole
Right to his
control of
face.
this.
Kristoff,
Got it.
listening into this conversation as you talk to each other, sort of like says, "Gentlemen, I really do think I will need time to get the money from the bank to actually share. Shall we adjourn for this evening, and we can meet back here in upstairs in the Sniffling Boar, say 10 o'clock tomorrow morning? Would that fit into your daily worshipping, Mr. Bartleby?
It would. Thank you for considering.
And
that.
your fitness regime, Mr. Hengist.
Of course.
So, yes.
I might be able to fit it in from my being asleep and my drinking.
No, he did not ask you. Why did he not ask you if it fits into your schedule? He didn't ask me to fit of my schedule either. He asked
You don't have a
Mr.
schedule,
Hengist,
Hazra.
and he asked Mr. Bartley.
You're here at dawn,
That's
Hazra, to talk
You're
to
always
Basil
here
the
at
Eris.
dawn.
It doesn't matter. All you do is sit
Dead
and
animals
talk
on your plate.
He's playing
Basil the
you.
Earless all morning.
Okay.
He's playing you. Is what he's doing.
So with a nod,
His curtails.
and I'm just looking at the time now. So with a nod, you agree to meet tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Here.
And a lot of you, you might get the feeling that you might have misjudged Kristoff. And he seemed to be extremely pleasant. There's probably things that you don't know or understand about him. But hey, you don't know everything about Sylvester either. You do have an extremely peaceful and restful night's sleep since the Dream Stalker has been banished. And just to finish off the adventure, players, you'll know this, but obviously your characters don't. There is a flashback in the actual in the narrative of a group of dark-robed, hooded humans around what appears to be a silver bowl, a large silver bowl that appears to be filled almost to the brim of a blood-like substance, and you can see that they're peering into it, and at the last moment one of them staggers and says to the others in a rather cracked, croaky voice, "They have killed it." And that's where we will leave it for this series of adventures in a fantasy setting. Next time we play Mythras, Hazra, Cyrus and Bartley, you will have 10 experience points to deal with, and Hengist, you'll have your normal half of that, which will be 5 points. So you've got that to actually think about it. I know some of you have already know what you're doing because we've had conversations, but yeah, definitely think about that as you think about going forward. And then what will happen, so next time that we're coming to play the fantasy session, we will be rolling the experience points and starting in a new adventure. You will have enough time to learn new spells, so this will be quite a big downtime for things like that. And also, if there's anything that you would like to do during that time, then please just send it to me as a private message on Discord, and then I'm ready to actually act it out with you when we do the first session. Next week, we are going to have a slight change. We will not be in the fantasy setting. We will be in a sci-fi setting. And the characters, you can join us as the players make up their characters live in the session, so you could be able to see. So if you're ever interested how Mythras characters are actually created and developed, then do come along in the next week when we'll actually be doing it, and you can see how all the point system goes together. And then we'll start a sci-fi adventure and see what the players are like on the flying to the far reaches of space to see what happens. And just to let you know, there will be blasters, so please practice your pew 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 sounds as you go along. You thought Mythras with swords was deadly. You wait till you see Mythras with blaster pistols, rocket launchers, and fusion cannons on starships.
Come see how the sausage is made next week.
My character is going to be running around with a torn off fusion cannon from a small spaceship.
Yes.
Just running around with one of those.
And just please, Cyrus, do not make your do not make your end space character tiny. Okay.
He's going to be compensating. It's going to be 7 foot.
I will.
tall.
I'm going the
really weak.
The only other thing I was going to say is that I'm still creating these sort of like rule systems, so there'll be really some differences. But just to let you know, the rule set does have cybernetics in. So, you know, if you do get your arm blown off, then we have the technology. We can build the first bionic man. And then that'll be it. There's no different aliens, by the way, or races. You're human as usual. But apart from that, it should be a fun session to make up the characters. Make sure that you don't come to this roll 20. You need to go to the other roll 20, and then that's it. Okay, then. Thank you, viewers, for coming along and watching the end of the session. I hope you enjoyed the battle and enjoyed the rules set, which is called Mythras. If you are interested, do go along to my YouTube channel, where you can find all the all videos explaining the rules. And also remember that if you are a patron of me, you do or can gain access to the background information of the world on World Anvil. You need to get yourself a login detail, but you can get that free of charge, and then you can have access to it. And at the right tier, you can even get my adventure notes and see what I actually, the 3 words that I actually created all this adventure from. A little bit more than 3 words, but that's what I'm going to say. So do go along and have a look at the Patreon if that is something that you are interested in coming along to. Until next time, please look after yourself, stay safe, but most importantly, stay positive. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Hello, bye.
Right, yes.
This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mythras. Mythras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.